or wicked, no matter what you did, you go into the spirit world. Then you receive your judgment. And then you come back reincarnated. And you live out that judgment. That's the process of reincarnation. And hell does not fit anywhere in that process. Alright? Hell fits nowhere in that process. Okay? So now let's go to Isaiah 34 and 1. Okay? This is one of the scriptures he used earlier. And they hinge on that word forever. Okay? They hinge on the word forever. And I'm going to go into what that word forever is. Okay? It says here, Isaiah 34 and 1. And I'm starting at the top. These guys didn't start at the top. But I'm going to start at the top to give you the premise of what this chapter is talking about. Alright, that's why the scriptures say line upon line and precept upon precept. Alright, which these guys did not do. Okay, it says here, Isaiah 34 verse 1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain shall also be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountain shall be melted with blood. And we talked about the slain earlier. Alright? It says here, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heaven shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Alright, it's talking about when those thermonuclear missiles hit. Okay, when that mushroom cloud forms after the explosion, it looks like a scroll being rolled together. Okay, it says here, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. What is the sword? It's talking about the thermonuclear missile. Okay, you read that in Isaiah 54 and 16, as well as Job the 20th chapter. Alright, behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. What does Idumea represent? America. Okay? The power structure of the so-called white race. The military power structure. Okay? And upon the people of my curse the judgment. Okay? Let's scroll down. It says here, the sword of the Lord is filled with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorn shall come down with them, and their bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. Alright? Meaning the other nations and the so-called white man are catching their judgment for what they put the children of Israel through. Okay? Verse 9, and the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof shall into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night or day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. We're going to come right back to that word, forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever again. So when America is destroyed, the whole land is going to be on fire for a long period of time, and nobody's going to inhabit this this country again. Okay? And when you keep reading here, it basically says the same thing in Revelation 18th chapter. Okay? So now let's look at that word forever. Okay? Let's look at the word forever. Alright? Play the audio.
Strong's H5769. Olam.
Let's just say Iwalam, or Iwalama, or it should Iwalam. Alright? Now it says here, look at the definition. Long duration, antiquity, futurity, forever, ever, everlasting, evermore, perpetual, old, ancient, world, ancient time, long time, of past, of future, forever, always, continual, excuse that phone, continuous, existence, perpetual, everlasting, indefinite, unending future, eternity. Alright? Now we know what that's talking about. It says a long duration. That's what that scripture is talking about. Alright? Because America is going to be burning for a very long time with all the destruction that's coming to it. All the fire that's coming to it. Alright? You can look at what happened with 9/11, which we know that was an inside job. Alright? It's obvious by now. But the way they detonated the building to go down, there was fire burning up under all that rubble for months. All right, and that wasn't even anything close to a fraction of the amount of fire that's going to be in one thermonuclear missile or bomb. Okay, so just imagine all the multitude of bombs that John the Revelator saw. All right, in Revelation the 9th chapter. Okay, so America's going to be burnt and it's going to be burning for a long period of time, not forever and ever and ever. Okay, why? It says when you keep reading. In fact, let me go back. When you keep reading, the proof on that is, it says it shall not. That's the last verse, verse 10. So let's just read verse 11 by itself. It says, but the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, the owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and shall stretch upon it the lion, the confusion, and the stones of emptiness. Okay, let me see. Let me scroll down. Verse 14. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow, and the screech owl shall rest there, and shall find for herself a place of rest. So wait a minute. How in the hell? This is another question I got for you. If that's talking about a burning place called hell, where it's burning fire forever and ever, where people go to get tormented, how is it that you're going to have all these animals that are going to be living there and finding rest? Alright, because it's not talking about a place called hell. It's talking about America being burnt on fire for a long period of time, and then it's going to be a desert. And then that's where we're going to have all those desert creatures dwelling there. That's what that's talking about. Alright? That's what it's talking about. But you guys you have no understanding. So you go on and make a 200 part video, a lesson about so-called hell, and you got all kind of brothers sitting way back in the back, flipping through books and not even doing nothing, just back there flipping through things and looking at, acting like they're doing something, just so y'all could look like y'all sophisticated. All right, all that whole so-called lesson was all vanity. All right, did it just to look like you. Like I said, man, there's always gonna be some nigga, or like the elders say, there's always gonna be some nigga some new nigga who got it. All right, I got this new breakdown. I got this new lesson. All right, and like I said, look, if y'all take this the right way, I'll take back everything I said. Oh, I'll call you a nigga, a clown. I'll take back all that gladly. All right. If you don't, though, it stays. All right. Now you don't have to listen to me. Just listen to the scriptures. The scriptures are clearly bringing out the fact that there is no such place called hell. Okay, there is no such place called hell. Okay, now let's go to Mark 9:42. This is another scripture they used. I believe this is the one they used. This particular set of scriptures is in Mark, Matthew, and Luke. I believe this is the one they used. It says here, Mark 9:42, and I'll read through 48. It says, and whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he were drowned, were cast into the sea. And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed than having two hands to go into hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched. There the worm dieth not, or where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And if thy foot offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter halt into life than having 2 feet and cast into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And if thy eye offend thee, pluck it out. It is better for thee to enter into the kingdom of the Most High with 1 eye than having 2 eyes to be cast into fire, 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire, where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. What is that talking about? It's talking about getting rid of anything that can hinder you from getting into the kingdom. Anything that can, whatever kind of tendencies you got. All right. It says in scriptures that we are Paul saw a law in his body. All right. His spirit warm with his flesh, and his flesh warm with his spirit. And he said, that which I do, that's what I would do, I do not, and that's what that's which I would do, I do not, and that which I hate, I do. Alright? Talking about living in these bodies. Anything